Hello and welcome to today's Office Hours presentation. This is Paul Hoyt, your host. Our Office Hours presentation is a relaxed, informal mentoring program that we hold every Monday at noon Pacific time. All these recording slides and exercises are archived in our members area, and all the recordings are available on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/Paul Hoyt. Excuse me. The reasons we do this is because we know that being a successful entrepreneur, a successful small business owner can be a great experience, but we also know that it's tough. You need education, training, tools, and teammates in order to be successful, and we want you to get to know us because when you do, you'll know that first and most importantly, we really do care about you. We want you to be successful in every area of life, whatever that means to you. We want you to find the greatness, the happiness, the divinity within yourself, and then remember it, embrace it, and live it every single day. Our passion is to increase the survival rate, accelerate the growth rate, and reduce the struggle rate of businesses in America. And our vision is to help millions of CEOs and entrepreneurs accelerate their business growth while enjoying greater harmony and balance in their lives. If you find these office hours presentations beneficial to you, then pass the word. We all know business owners or people who want to be business owners who might gain considerable value from attending these office hours presentations live, joining the tribe, and getting access to the library of now, 130 or so office hours presentations. Our office hours agenda is usually an in-depth discussion of a business success principle, followed by closing remarks, special offers, and an invitation for next week's session. And then we go into open Q&A and coaching. So please remember that we are going to have the Q&A and coaching at the end of this presentation. And as you go through, take notes, ask your questions, type them into the control log, or if you're attending the call live, we'll maybe take you off of mute and invite you to have a conversation with us at the end of it. And as always, remember that the best question or comment wins. We give away some sort of a prize that's appropriate to the winner, whoever that happens to be. So we want to encourage your interaction. We want to encourage your participation in the call, not just your listening to the call. So we try to reward those who have participated with a prize at the end of it. We encourage you to join us throughout the week in the Awakened CEO communities on both LinkedIn and Facebook, where I publish a business success principle of the day 4 days a week on both Facebook and LinkedIn, and then the energy of the day posting every morning on Facebook. When I get up, I try to say something inspirational or insightful, and I've done it 1,069 days in a row. Today, our topic is, what's your reason for starting your business? The 9 C's of entrepreneurship. As always, we try to relate the subject matter of the day to one or more of the key performance areas of success that I defined in my 2004 book, The Foundation Factor, and this is all about leadership. It's about your responsibility as a leader of your company to understand the why that you're in business in the first place, so that you can communicate that effectively, so you can deal with that effectively. We also relate the subject matter of the day to one or more of the 9 areas in the Awakened CEO system, which is the intersection of the 3 areas of growth: business growth, professional growth, and personal growth, and the 3 levels of performance between mindset, methods, and momentum. And today it's all about mindset. It's about you understanding for yourself why you're in business for yourself, and understanding the attitudes and the perspectives that go along with your particular reasons. So today we're going to talk a lot about those reasons that people go into business for themselves. And the 9 C's are cash, control, creativity, calling, and contribution, and cheers, connections, challenges, and chance. And then we'll sum it all up with the bottom line. But before we start, we did a presentation, an office hours presentation, it must have been about a year ago, based on the book, Start With the Why. And that's what we're focusing on today, is really when you understand the reason why you're in business, why you started your business, why you stay in your business, it can really help you communicate that with other people. And that increased self-awareness naturally increases your emotional intelligence, which can increase your relationship skills, which just makes everything work a whole lot better. There are a lot of reasons, as we're going to cover a tremendous amount of them today. Some of these reasons will resonate with you. For most people, it's a combination of reasons. Well, it was this one and this one and this one. 3 or 4 out of the 50 some reasons that we're going to share with you today. And all of them are okay. Whatever reason that you had for starting your business or that you have for thinking about starting your business, hey, it's okay. Whatever inspiration you have, whether it be massive wealth or being in control or the creativity or lots of those reasons go on that we'll share in a minute, it's really quite okay. You get to choose your own reasons, you get to have your own reasons, and we're here to support you whatever those reasons are. A lot of people start to go into business because they really want the cash. That's one of our first C's there. They want to make more money than they're able to make working for somebody else. They've heard people say that, a JOB stands for just over broke, which, by the way, it doesn't necessarily do, but they've heard that. And they realize that if I keep working for somebody else, I'm not going to be able to get a promotion. I'm not going to be able to get a raise. There are maybe no other jobs available, and I want to make more money, so I'm going to go into business for myself. In fact, a lot of them want to have a chance at massive wealth. Now, you can make more money by working for somebody else or by switching jobs, but if you really want a chance at massive wealth, then it almost does require that you work as an entrepreneur or at least one of the top 2 or 3 people or 4 people at a business that is really, really going to take off. It is and can be a quicker path to financial freedom. There are a lot of tax benefits in just having a part-time business that you can enjoy and reduce your overall tax rate. For many people, it's about building something that they can hand down to others. They want to build a legacy. They want to build something that is worth a tremendous amount of money that they can pass down for generations to come. But there are a lot of people out there that start a business just on an income replacement. They think, I'm making, $50,000 a year working where I'm working. If I could do my own thing, if I could be my own boss, if I could have some of these other reasons and just make as much money as I'm currently making, that would be okay. They want an income replacement. So ask yourself, are you starting your business? Are you staying in business because you want to have a chance at massive wealth? Or is it just income replacement? Is it because of the tax benefits? Is it because you want to leave a legacy for other people, especially your family, for years to come? Is cash one of the reasons that you decided to start and grow a business? Or perhaps is it the number one reason rather that people start business, and that's because they want to be in control. They really want to be their own boss. They want to make the decisions. And the reason is oftentimes because they've experienced management decisions around them that have really hurt them in the past. And they didn't have the chance to do it, but they got reorganized in some way. They got reassigned in some way. They got changes in a compensation program, or they went to work for somebody because they really liked the person who was their boss, but that boss was let go, or that boss was reassigned, or that boss decided to, take another job somewhere else, and their department that they really loved for a while, now it wasn't a good place to work anymore for them. So they've had those management decisions that have hurt them, and they want to feel safe. They want to have job security. They don't want to be reorganized out of a job. They don't want to have people changing their compensation plan underneath them. And by the way, I've had all of these things happen to me. I've been reorganized out of a job. I've had reassignments that I didn't like. I've had a boss rather that I loved who was let go, and another boss who took a job somewhere else. And I've really wanted that safety and job security as well. There are other reasons where you really want to make all the important decisions yourself. If you feel like that, the people that I am reporting to, the executives at my company, the people who are making those decisions, I don't think that they're making as good of decisions as I could make. I want to make those decisions because I think things would turn out better for the company that I'm working for and for me personally. And they want freedom and flexibility to set their own hours, to go to conferences and workshops and take vacations whenever they want, to buy the technology that they want, to work when and where they want, and for us who are getting along in years, maybe never having to retire because somebody can't force you into retirement at age 65 or force you into retirement at age 70. And if you're doing what you really love and you're setting your own hours and you've got a lot of freedom and flexibility, then why not? You have an opportunity to work until you just simply can't work anymore. And by the way, we've got somebody on this call right now who has worked, up until their mid 80s because they were doing what they loved and they had the freedom and flexibility of having their own business. So you can work a long, long time. You can add value when you're in control. When you're not in control, then, hey, it's real hard to find a job working for somebody else when you're 73 years old. Another reason why people love to start their own businesses is creativity. They really want to do their own thing. They have an invention that just has to be made. They just have to get it into the market. Or they have a book or a message that just has to be shared. The same with songs and music and art and dance and acting and inspirational speaking and all kinds of other forms of self-expression. They have something that just has to get out. It's bursting from within them, and they have to share it in some way. They have to start that band. They have to go be a professional actor. They have to deliver their inspirational talk in some way. They have to tinker around for years in their garage making an invention, and then they have to find a way to bring it to market because that's just what they have to do. They're a creative person. They're a visionary, and they have to see their ideas, their dreams, their visions come to reality, and nobody else can do it. Still, other people have a calling. They have a calling, and they feel like they just have to be in the business. They feel like that they've got no choice to being in the business. No other option seems reasonable to them at all. And I've had people say, I would hate myself if I didn't go into business. And I've actually worked with people who had a vision or a dream that they woke up in the middle of the night with an idea about an invention or an idea about a product or a service, and they felt like they just absolutely had to bring that to market, that it was a calling, that it was a gift from God to them. Some have even received guidance from angels or even a command from an ethereal spirit that said literally, wake up and start this business. And boy, those folks are incredibly passionate about the business that they want to start because they feel like they have been called by divinity, himself, herself, itself, to go do their thing. And again, they felt like they didn't have any choice whatsoever. Some other people still want to do good, but theirs is in the form of a contribution, not a calling. They see an opportunity to do good in the world through starting a business, and specifically and most often in terms of a nonprofit business. They want to champion a cause. They want to give to others directly or indirectly. They want to help and serve other people. They see a need in the community and they want to fill it. Maybe they want to create jobs where there are no other jobs available. Or maybe they want to change the world. Steve Jobs said that one of his passions about starting and growing Apple was that he wanted to make a ding in the universe. Well, there's a lot of people out there who see an opportunity. I've had people who said, I was the only one capable of starting a business in my hometown, and I saw people around me who just needed a place to work. So he started a business, was able to hire a few people and then a few people more, and put some of his friends and family and other people to work to make his contribution. And as we said earlier, many people want to make a contribution by starting a nonprofit business so that they can seek donations and give back to people in the way that they want to give back to people. And they have had, in essence, a calling to make a contribution. Other people, are not quite so magnanimous in their approach to starting a business. They do it just for the cheers. They do it because they want the approval from other people. They want the applause that comes from other people. They want to be seen as a leader and seen as an expert. It's really about pride and self-esteem with them. They have something to prove to others or to themselves about their ability to start and grow a business. I see a lot of people who start a business because there's this real sense of pride. It's what they want to do. They want to be seen as a leader in their community. They want to be seen as a successful business owner. They somehow elevate those people in status way above the status of people who work for other people or even professionals who work with and for other people. They want the approval of other people. They want to have the experience of a cheering crowd, either from outside or from the inside. Some people want connections. Some people want companionship and camaraderie. They decided that, you know, I'm working here in this factory and none of the people that I'm working with I really like at all. I want to form my own team. I want to work with my friends. I want to work with my family, especially working with my kids or giving my kids a place to work. I've had one client that I know that started his job because he had a special needs child, and that child, or started his business rather, because he had a special needs child, and he wanted to have, you know, a place where his special needs child could actually go to work, and there wasn't any place. So he started his own business and hired his own son to come in and work in the business to his full capability, and that was the reason he started it, because he wanted that connection. He wanted to be there, you know, 24/7, or not quite that much, but a lot with his son to get them started in the business. Oftentimes people want to start a business because they want to work with whoever they want to work with. That they're, like I said, they're tired of working with the people in their corporate environment or in their factory environment. And they want to expand their network. They want to reach out and work with other people as a business owner. They want to join the Chamber of Commerce. They want to join the Rotary Club. They want to join these different organizations. And they feel like the only way that they can network with the people that they really want to network is if they are a business owner, if they have their own business. Still, other people want the challenge. They want the challenge of being in business for themselves. They may see this as the next step in their career, maybe the next logical step. Maybe it's really a strategic decision that I was working in corporate America and I did pretty well then. The next step for me, my next sense of growth for my own career is starting and growing my own business. Maybe they want to do something hard, that they're just, that it's a matter of pride and self-esteem and self-actualization, or they're just bored at where they are. They want the challenge in some way because they see that as a way to advance themselves, to step into their own power in some way. They want the adrenaline rush that comes from facing the challenges of starting and growing a business. And as we all know, though, listening to this call or on the call, you know, there are challenges in business, and it is quite an adrenaline rush to face the incredible challenges that many business owners face. They just want the experience and the challenge of being an entrepreneur. The last category that we have are those of chance. There are people out there that didn't really plan to go into business at all. It wasn't a strategic thing. It wasn't something that they'd worked for years and years to prepare to do. It just kind of happened. One man I met stumbled into his business and became an accidental entrepreneur. He had a roofing business. Well, now he has a roofing business, but many, many years ago, he was a ski bum in a town in Colorado and needed something to do in the summers in order to afford his skiing habit, because he was, you know, a ski instructor and a ski bum during the winter, but he needed to do something during the winter, during the summer. Somebody said, hey, can you help me fix a roof? And he decided to fix that roof. And then somebody else said, hey, can you help me fix my roof too? And then somebody else said, how about fixing a commercial roof? And then before you knew it, he had a roofing crew. And before you knew it, he had a he became a roofing contractor and had multiple crews. And when I had a chance to work with him a few years ago, he had a $30 million a year business, and which had started by accident because somebody needed somebody to do something and he was good at it and he availed himself of the opportunity to do that. Other people are running a business by promotion or circumstance. I've seen people be, you know, work at a small business and they were the COO or they were the vice president of sales, or they even were the CFO, and somebody comes along and says, we want you to lead the team because you are such a good leader, because we have such respect for who you are and your ability to be a good leader. We want you to be the entrepreneur. We want to promote you into the position. Again, not planned for at all. I've had other clients who assumed the mantle of leadership very reluctantly because of the death or the departure of the former entrepreneur. they were the wife or the husband of the entrepreneur. They were working in the accounting department, or they were working on the shop floor and somebody passed away and they were nominated and really requested to step into the role of the entrepreneur of the business. It was quite by chance. And other people, feel like they have no choice, that having a business is the only option available to them. That can happen when there's no jobs available in your hometown. That can happen when you just got out of the military and your MOS does not prepare you for a job in the civilian life. That can happen for a lot of different reasons. It can be what people consider to be the only option available to them. So those are the 9 C's of why people start and grow businesses. But here's the bottom line. For most people, it's really about the quality of life. It's an opportunity for professional and personal growth. It's an opportunity to have freedom and flexibility in being your own boss. And when you understand the reasons why you are in business for yourself, it really does help when it comes to overcoming the obstacles. And as we talked about in that office hours presentation earlier, it's really about focusing on the why and understanding your why so that you can be self-aware. Because when you increase your self-awareness, you increase your self-management. When you increase your self-management, you increase your ability to get along and work with other people as well. So when you understand your why, it can pay off in a lot of different ways. When we started today's presentation, we talked about the Awakened CEO system and about how today's conversation was all about the mindset. So here's some mindset tips and perspectives I encourage you to ask for yourself or invite you to embrace for yourself. First of all, understand the reasons why you are choosing to grow personally and professionally. One of my favorite inspirational speakers is Bob Proctor, and I remember sitting in an audience with him 10 years ago when he said, you think that you're starting this business because you want money. You think that you're starting this business because you want to be in control. But the real reason you're starting your business is because your soul is looking for greater expression and expansion. And I loved that. It really resonated with me, and I hope that resonated with you too. Because when you are choosing to start a business, that's what you are choosing to do. Reluctantly or eagerly, you are setting yourself up for a lot of challenges, and those challenges will result in both personal and professional growth. Also, I encourage you to understand the reasons why you want to grow the business to the size that you want to grow your business. Because as we talked earlier, some people want to have a chance at massive wealth. They want to be a billionaire. And other people, when they start and grow a business, they're just looking for income replacement. They just want to kind of do their own thing and make enough money to get by and save a little bit for retirement. They're really not interested in massive wealth. They want to go through the hassle of running a $100 million company or even a $10 million company. They'd be just really happy about running a company that has a couple of $100,000 a year in revenue and takes care of them and a few other people. But understanding the reasons why you start and grow your business will help you understand what your focus is on the size of the business, and if you have any blocks towards growing a business that are preventing you from growing the business that you really want to grow. And as we mentioned earlier, any reason is okay as long as you feel good about yourself. As long as you feel like this is a valid reason for me and you have a positive attitude towards it, then I encourage you to go for it, because it really is your passion that counts a significant amount when it comes to starting and growing your own business. That's been our agenda for today. We talked about the 9 C's of growing business: cash, control, creativity, calling, contribution, cheers, connections, challenge, and chance. And then we summed it all up to the bottom line. So here's your homework and your exercise. I want you to review your reasons for starting and growing and staying in business and reflect upon them and really dig deep. And by the way, when you, in the Tribe portal, after I post today's presentation, the recording of this, I'm also going to publish a worksheet that you can use to help you go through those 9 different C's and explore for yourself why you're in business for yourself, why you decided to take the plunge and be an entrepreneur or to own your own business so that you can gain a little assistance in digging deep and understanding your own reasons. And then once you have those, I strongly encourage them to discuss them with your coach. And of course, I think every business owner should have a coach, somebody they can confide in, somebody that can help them make good decisions, etc. And this is a great exercise for you to go through with your coach. And then you can remind yourself of the reasons why you're in business whenever the going gets tough. Again, starting with the why, understanding what your passion is can really be useful whenever the going gets tough and you need to dig yourself out of that ditch or step over that little roadblock that's temporarily blocking your success. If to learn more about your mindset and starting businesses from a mindset perspective, here are some related office hours presentations. Number 53 on claiming your own truth, 61 on the E-Myth, 63 on planning your exit, 81 on the power of why, 91 on emotional intelligence, and 103 on how to be a great leader, and 129 on being an awakened CEO. In just a minute, we're going to go into Q&A and coaching, where we invite you to answer or ask questions or offer comments on the subject matter of the day first, and then any other thing that you want to talk about. We want you to tell us what your biggest takeaways are and the insights are that you gained from the presentation. Tell me what you're going to focus on. But first, a little word from our sponsor here. At the Hoyt Management Group, we offer a wide variety of support services in education, training, coaching, advising, and mentoring, and consulting, and in growth management. In some cases, we teach you how to do it for yourself. In some cases, we do it with you, such as writing business plans, creating financial models, developing product funnels, writing sales scripts, etc. And in some cases, we do it for you, such as accounting and CFO work. Our support systems are wide and varied. We support you in both business growth and in personal growth with our Awakened CEO system for integrated growth. And as a reminder, we believe that it's really beneficial to you to focus on growing your business while you are growing yourself professionally and while you are growing yourself personally, and focusing on your mindset and your methods and your momentum. This is the Awakened CEO system, and we support you on all of these levels at the same time. We encourage you to join me for an Awakened conversation. Our next one has now been scheduled. It's going to be on November 2nd, and I'm going to talk about the 10 essential elements of personal power, which is a presentation that I've been working on now for several weeks, and I'm excited to share with you what I have discovered in my study of people who are extremely powerful. The Donald Trumps, the Dalai Lama, the Tony Robbins, very successful salespeople, and even con artists all have these 10 essential elements in some way in their own life. And I'm going to be very happy to share those with you on Wednesday, November the 2nd. So watch your emails for invitations to join us on that day. We're also going to be announcing some more group coaching and masterminding groups on that day. So again, watch your emails for the announcements. Our next office hours is going to be on Halloween, October 31st next week, and we're going to do live group coaching as we like to do every fourth call or so. So be thinking about things that you would like to talk about, questions that you have to ask, comments that you have to offer, discussion topics that you'd like to foster for our conversation next Monday. I'm really looking forward to that. Let me know what topics that you'd like to discuss on future office hours presentation by going to paulsurvey.com, and in between now and the time we meet again, do your homework. Fill out, download that worksheet that I'm going to put up there and understand for yourself while you're in business for yourself. And with that, let's go into best comments and questions. Again, remember that the best comment or question wins, and hopefully somebody on this call is going to share a little information about why they have gone into business for themselves, and we can have a little open discussion about that particular subject. With that, Stephanie, do we have any comments or questions for today?
We sure do. Questions are starting to come in. Here's a first one.
Okay.
It's a personal one for you. Why did you start your own business?
Why did I start my own business? Well, as you might, believe, and that I have thought about that a lot in presenting this particular presentation. And of course, this business is not the only business that I've started. I've started a couple of different businesses. My first business that I started was in 1980. And the reasons why I started that business were a lot different than the reasons why I started my second business. You know, a long time ago in 1980 when I was just 30 years old. And the reason I started that business was really about the fame and the glory and the chance at massive wealth. I was a smart guy. I still kind of am a smart guy. I haven't lost a lot over the last 30 years or so. But I really was a great computer programmer, and I felt like that if intelligence was going to be the secret of success and hard work was going to be the secret of success, then I had those two things nailed. I was willing to work hard, and I was a bright guy, and I wanted to go into business for myself. This was in the start of the computer industry, or at least it was very young in 1980. You know, Apple didn't start until 1977. Microsoft didn't announce MS-DOS until 1981 or so. So the computer industry was very young, and it was full of stories of people just like me who had started their own business and made millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that's why I wanted to do it. That was my number one goal, was I wanted to be a business owner because of the fame and the glory and the pride and the self-esteem that came from that. And I wanted to have a chance at massive wealth. And of course, I discovered, like so many business owners discover, that there were things that I needed to be able to do that I didn't know how to do. Specifically, marketing and sales were my big challenges back in those days. So I went back into corporate America, was in business, working for other people, and it got some pretty good areas of responsibility too, until 2001, when I was given the opportunity to start my second business. When I say given the opportunity, I mean, frankly, I was let go. And it was after the recession of 2000, there just weren't that many jobs at all. I was in Denver, Colorado. 50,000 of my close personal friends were on the streets because there was a recession in 2000. It wasn't bad as the recession in 2008, but it was really, really bad, especially in the tech sector. And I was one of the last ones to lose my job just 2 or 3 months before 9/11 happened in September of 2001. In June of 2001, I was asked to come into my boss's office, who said, you know, we've had a reorganization. Paul, I fought for you as hard as I could fight for you, even to the point of they told me to back off or I was going to lose my job. But the executives at the company decided that you were going to be one of the ones that was cut from your position. Holy mackerel, that was a stunner. That was a big blow. It was a big blow because I had 2 kids in college, not just in college, but 2 kids at Stanford and that's $40,000 a year each. So, you know, here I was, you know, and with chance or circumstance, being out on the streets where I really didn't see any other options available. It was either, you know, move to Boston where there were jobs available, or stay in Denver, Colorado and start my own business. So I started my own business. I decided to be a general business consultant. So the reason why I started that second business was really chance or circumstance. But, you know, I really embraced the opportunity too. It took me about, you know, 6 hours before I really decided that, you know, I'm going to go for it, that I'm going to do my own thing, that I'm never going to put myself in a position to be fired again, that I'm going to be in control. I'm going to control my own work hours. I'm going to work as long as I want. I'm going to work as hard as I want. I'm never going to have to retire. That has been my inspiration for this business. You know, since that time, 15 years have gone by. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've settled down a little bit. I'm a lot more grounded now, a lot more peaceful, a lot wiser person today than I was 15 years ago. But I'm really glad that circumstance came along that caused me to start a business at that time in that way. And yeah, it has been tough. It was tough to get started. It was tough to rebound from 2008, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Because of the people that I've had a chance to meet, because of the workshops and conferences I've had a chance to go to, because of the hundreds of business owners that I've had a chance to work with and support them on their journey, for the opportunity that it has afforded me to work on myself professionally and to work on myself personally. and for the opportunity that I see to do that for years and years and years to come and never retire, to always be able to coach and consult with other people and bring value no matter how old I am. As long as I can speak, as long as I can put fingers on the keyboard and type something, then I can contribute to the welfare of others, and I can support others and help them in the way that I love to do. So thanks for asking that question. Two totally different reasons from when I started the business when I was 30 years old to when I started my second business when I was 50 years old, and now really even a different reason for maintaining the business and staying in the business. Hopefully some of that resonated with you a little bit too. So next question or comment, Stephanie.
Yeah, question. Does the amount of determination that someone has depend upon their reasons for starting in the first place?
I think yes and no. So the yes part of it is, if someone's just looking for a little extra income, part-time job, or looking for a job that they can do for income replacement, and they're satisfied with not making very much money at all, then they've satisfied their why, and they might not have a lot of passion for overcoming the obstacles and challenges of a business. And there are going to be some. You're going to make some mistakes, $1,000 mistakes, $5,000 mistakes, $10,000 mistakes. People will come and go. People will, desert you at times. There are all kinds of challenges associated with starting a business. If you don't have a strong passion, when one of those challenges come up, you just might say, screw it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to go back into work for somebody else. This is too tough. I give up. I don't really care. But people who have a calling, people who really need to be their own boss, people who have, a creative vision for bringing something to the marketplace, people who got one of those dreams in the middle of the night that says, Paul, go do this. They have a tremendous amount of passion for it, a really strong why, and they're more likely to have stick-to-itiveness and resilience and staying power when it comes to dealing with the issues and challenges and the blocks and the obstacles and the crap that comes up whenever we're starting and growing a business. So yes, you can be passionate, by the way, about any one of those nine things. You can be passionate about, I just want to make a lot of money. Or I can be passionate about, I have to do my own thing. Or I can be passionate about, I need to be my own boss. I need to work with my family. I want to make a contribution. I have a calling. Or just the circumstance, I have no choice. You can be passionate about any one of those nine, or really just be only mildly passionate about nothing. You can just say, well, I just thought I'd try it because it looked kind of interesting. The more passion you have, the more staying power that you have, and the more likely that you are to be successful in business as well. So hopefully that answered the question. Next comment or question, Stephanie.
Okay, let's see, next question. How much should I work? How many hours should I expect to put in on the business?
Well, I'm reminded of my favorite, one of my favorite things that says, when you're in business, you only have to work half time, and you get to choose which 12 hours a day that is. You can either, work all night, or you can work during the day. And many business owners I know, are working 12 or 14 hours a day. When I was in the earlier days of this business, I realized, gosh, I found myself standing up on stage one day and telling people that I had been tracking my results, and I'd worked 410 hours in the previous month. 410 hours in a month is a lot of work. That is a lot of work. That's like, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week for the entire month. Since then, I've backed off, and now I only work about 280 to 300 hours a week, or a month rather, which it turns out to be, 68 to 70 hours a week is what I work. I think that's a good effort for me. That's 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, plus some on the weekends, or 11 hours a day, 6 days a week, something like that. Most people I know who are in business work very long hours. They work 10 or 12-hour days. They work a half day on Saturday or a whole day on Saturday. They put in a little bit of time on Sunday. Some have, a spiritual calling or a religious organization that says that they're not going to work on the Sabbath, whether their Sabbath be on a Saturday or a Sunday, and they put that aside so that they can focus on family and focus on other things in life during those times. But most people that I know work, 7 days a week in some way or another. And the reason is usually twofold. One is because they may feel like I need to work that hard to survive because things are not going well and I can't afford to hire other people to do this stuff, so I got to do it for myself. And it may be a choice of survival, but it can also be a choice of taking advantage of your opportunities. I have some real opportunities to grow in business here, and I'm not going to sit idle while those opportunities pass me by. The time waits for no one, and you can never say when the window of opportunity is going to avail itself. If a client calls you on Saturday morning and says, Paul, I need your time for 3 or 4 hours, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or a business consultant or whatever, or a landscape architect, whatever you happen to be, you take advantage of those opportunities when they come into the door, and they don't always start coming into the door at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Sometimes they come in after hours, and sometimes they come in on the weekend. So we work those hours to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves, and we work those hours because we want to accelerate the growth of our business. There are people out there that have gotten their business to the point to where they're only working for the mythical 4-hour work week. There's a great book out there by that called The 4-Hour Work Week, which is really more about setting the mindset of putting systems in place so that you can back off whenever you want to back off. So you can take a vacation and the business will run okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that you back off all the time and work 4 hours, but it means that you put systems in place that allow the business to work when you're not there so that you can earn money when you're on the beach, etc. That was probably a long way of answering the question, but my encouragement to you is to do both of those things. Number one is to do whatever it takes and avail yourself of opportunities when they come in the door. And number two, put systems in place so that you have the opportunity to back off and that you have the opportunity to go to workshops and conferences and take vacations later on and let the business still operate while you're not there focusing on it minute by minute. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Next question or comment.
Okay. I am an inventor and a visionary, she says. Mm-hmm. When do I decide to go full-time with the business?
Well, inventors and visionaries, first of all, by the way, not very many people are going to tell you this, but the odds of success are like 2 or 3%. And that may be charitable. They say, I've heard a lot of people say that only 1% of inventions actually achieve some level of commercial success. And it is, by the way, a very expensive and very risky and very complicated, complex business. I do occasionally for my clients something called a business complexity profile. I did an office hours presentation on that a couple of years ago. With the business complexity profile, we realize that some businesses are very easy and some businesses are very complex. Selling roses by the street corner is a very simple business. Bringing a consumer product to market is a very complex business. So my advice to you is before you jump in full time is to understand the complexity of the business, understand the investment that it takes to bring a consumer product to market so that you can adequately prepare rather than just quit your full-time job and go for it. Because it does take a lot of money and it does take a lot of time to bring a product to market. Now, fortunately, if you're an inventor and you have a way of taking care of yourself financially, there's a lot that you can do on the evenings and the weekends in moving your project forward and on designing and developing your product. You can go a long way. I encourage you to follow the lean startup methodology. to go out and talk to people who you think might be your customers and find out what they really want out of a product like yours and what they're really willing to pay for a product like yours, so that you can do as much as you can, in the early days to attract the favorable attention of those who can help you grow your business and maybe even want to fund the growth of your business before you decide to risk it all and quit your full-time job and to go into business for yourself. So I guess the short answer to that is, stay as long as you can with your current job, taking care of your current financial needs until you really understand the investment that it's going to take in terms to bring your invention to market, and maybe even line up those funds before you decide to quit your job and go for it. Hopefully that's helpful to you, but I really urge caution, especially in a business as complex and one that takes so much money to get started and grow as does bringing a consumer product to market or bringing an invention to market in some way. Hopefully that helps. Next question. Comment.
Okay. Okay. Oops. Does it ever work to start a business because of a vision or a dream?
Yeah, I think that it does. And I've had literally, a half a dozen people that I've worked with over the years who said, I got struck by lightning. One person said they'd been struck by lightning. Another person woke up in the middle of the night, with a dream. They saw an angel, that says, go do this thing. Another person thought that they were dying. They had, some sort of an episode that caused them to have a download of something that they really need to do. Another person, in a I think it was a revival meeting, they had, an experience. They had an experience that caused them to say, this is what you must do. And yes, some of those people are still in business for themselves and they're still doing well. The reason is because they had tremendous passion. They felt like it was something that they had to do, that it was a calling from God, literally, in one or two of their cases, that said, you must go do this thing. I am calling upon you, my good and faithful servant, to be a steward to this idea, to champion this cause, to be my good, my good servant, my good follower, and go do your thing. And yeah, a couple of them are still in business, and a couple of them, have temporarily put that calling on hold. A lot of people I've talked to, have some sense of calling or contribution when it comes to starting their own nonprofit business. A cousin of mine, took a trip to Africa to assist a village over there in starting some sort of a water well project, and just fell in love with the people over there and decided that had to be her business. So she started a nonprofit business so they could, fund herself to be a missionary to Africa. God bless her. I read her book. She does really cool things with the people that she is called to serve. So if you are called to serve somebody in some way, and if you are called to serve, in some way through getting struck by lightning or having a dream in the middle of the night or whatever it happens to be, you can in fact make that a business, but you got to pay attention. The passion is just the starting point. Once you get the why in place, then it becomes a matter of the how. Once you have your mindset in place that says, I am going to overcome no matter what, I'm going to learn what I need to learn, I'm going to become the person that I need to become so that I can do what I need to do, so that I can fulfill my mission in life, then it's about methods, and then it's about momentum. It's about getting your right team in place, getting your coaches and your consultants in place that can show you how to do what you want to do, that can help you learn what you need to learn so that you can do what you need to do, that can help you overcome those blocks and obstacles that you need to overcome so that you can fulfill your passion, fulfill your mission, fulfill your calling, whatever that happens to be, whether just divinely inspired or whether just a flash of an idea that you really feels like your own idea. Really focus on getting the methods in place and getting into momentum and maintaining momentum and building momentum in your business and in all of the different growth areas of your life so that you can fulfill your dream and fulfill your passion. Hopefully that was good for you. Next comment or question.
Yeah. I think I have to go into business for myself because I don't work that with other people. Is that a reason?
It is a reason, and I've seen people do that before. You know, that for whatever reason, when they were working in a business, they just had a tendency to self-destruct. They couldn't deal with other people, you know, being in control and other people not doing what they wanted to do, that they just had to be in control because, you know, other people's decisions just kind of pissed them off. And frankly, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't work. There's a case to be made that Steve Jobs and Larry Ellison, for example, you know, ran their own business because they couldn't tolerate working for anybody else. So there are some really successful, I mean, billionaire entrepreneurs out there who just couldn't stand working for somebody else. I think Donald Trump is that way. I don't think he would be a good employee. I don't think I would hire Donald Trump because he's too, let's say, antagonistic. He's tough to get along with. So if you find that you consistently self-destruct, that you consistently are telling your boss to go fly a kite or worse, that you just can't deal with corporate America because you're not in control, then it could be that starting your own business may be your only choice. But here's another choice that I strongly encourage you to make, and that is that you're going to focus on your emotional intelligence, that you're going to focus on self-awareness and self-control and self-management, that you're going to focus on social awareness, that you're going to focus on relationship management, that you're going to learn over time how to be a good leader, how to be a good boss, how to be a good manager, how to get along with and nurture nurture and support the people that work with you and work for you. Because being in business and growing a business of any size is all about teamwork. And while some people, you know, will work okay on a team where the boss is just giving orders all the time and maybe is angry all the time, a lot of good people out there won't tolerate that environment for very long at all. They won't even consider coming to work for you. And you really, if you have that kind of attitude towards other people, if you are an angry person who just wants to give orders to everybody all the time, you're going to suffer two problems. Number one is you're not going to be able to grow as big as you could otherwise grow if you really know how to get along with people. And secondly, and even most important to me, is you're going to have a lot of stress in your life. And that stress in your life will at some point in time end up in heart disease or cancer or some other nasty physical problem, you know, that manifests itself at some point in time. Steve Jobs died at the age of 57. I believe that a lot of his challenges was the stress that he had. He was, you know, for the most part, a very tough person, bitter, you know, angry person most of his life. Highly creative, a genius in some ways, but he paid the price. So, you know, if you find that you really got to start your own business because you can't tolerate working for somebody else, you do it, take care of yourself, take care of your family, but then really work on yourself. Be focused on personal growth with the idea, hopefully over time, that you can even become an awakened CEO, that you can recognize the responsibility and the opportunity that you have to nurture other people, to make a contribution to the careers, to the lives of people that you work with, in addition to the contribution of society. With the freedom and flexibility that you have in working for yourself, maybe you can go to those weekend workshops and retreats. Maybe you can go to see an inspirational teacher. Maybe you can go to those, you know, those different programs, of which there are many. Maybe you can come to one of our Awakened CEO group coaching programs, and you can focus on learning the things that will really help you enjoy life more and to become healthier and happier in life as well. Hopefully that helps. Next comment or question. We got 12:58, so we got a little bit of time maybe for one more. Do we have any more, Stephanie?
No, we're caught up.
We're caught up. And do we have any comments or questions that would cause somebody to win a prize for today?
We got a comment from your dad.
Yeah, and that was?
Says, I am 86 and still going strong, and I wish the same for you.
And I wish the same for everybody. I love that. You know, I love that. Being, 70 years old, 75-year-old, having the ability to give back to other people with the wisdom of your years. And yes, we do get wise over time. We earn that wisdom through the pain and the challenges that we face along the way. So, that's my wish for everybody, that every year that goes by, that they feel like they're able to contribute more and more and more because what they're continuing to learn over time. I know I certainly feel that way. I work on myself every single day to become a stronger, healthier, happier, wiser, more peaceful, more loving person every single day. And I have no doubt that a year from now, I will be more able to help people than I am today. And I have no doubt, by the way, that I'm able to help a lot of people today. And with that, keep us in mind. Keep us in mind for you, to help you out in business, to help you out in your personal life as well. We're not only business consultants, but we're also professional coaches here at our business, and we're eager to support you in any way that we can possibly do that. So thanks for those of you who have attended today live. Thanks to those of you who are listening on the phone and those of you who are listening to the recording. We love to help you as much as we possibly can. Explore your C's of growing business, understanding your whys, so that you can tap into your passion and be more successful over time. And until we have an opportunity to talk again, this is Paul Hoyt and Stephanie May wishing you a most marvelous and prosperous day. Bye-bye.